I've made over $1 million trading in the last 5 years, and I've realized most of the stuff you hear about scalping is completely wrong. And in this video, I'm handing you the exact $1 million playbook that I've built up from years of blowing accounts, repeated mistakes, and from learning the hard way. By the end of this, you'll be able to avoid the mistakes I made and copy the exact scalping system I use today so you can reach those consistent payouts in half the time it took me. Let's get into it. Most traders think they need more indicators or a better strategy if they want to make more money, but the problem is not the charts, it's in your head. When I first started trading, all I could do was continue to take trades. My emotions had full control over me and I did not know what to do and how to control myself. There'd be days where I trade for 8 hours and I would take every single setup I got, and when I won it wasn't a problem, but when I lost it all of a sudden became that. Then I would take more trades, I would dig myself in deep holes that I couldn't get out of, where if I just would have been able to cut it off, my profitability and the amount of money I actually would retain back into my bank account would have gone up so much more. I really want you to understand that this has nothing to do with a strategy or a model. That's why you see some people online trade certain ways and they make money, but then all of a sudden you can't. There's things that go on inside of your mind before and during and after you take a trade that can all influence you to do other things, and most of the time it's negative. This has never been a game of who has the best strategy or the best model or the best setups that they can take. It's a game of who can control themselves better, force themselves into positive positions. The big switch for me is when I took a step back and I realized the problem wasn't the strategy or the model, it was my mindset. Scalping is 90%, if not more, of mindset and just 10% of execution. When you're scalping, you get hundreds of setups addressed to you every single day. It's about filtering down which ones are the best for you, how I can put myself in positions to only take those A+ setups, and how we can avoid and also entertain risk. Risk management is the biggest factor in all of your strategies. The game has always never been how to get rid of risk. It is how to manage and understand the losses more than anything. The sooner you just realize that you're gonna lose and you have to accept those losses, that is when you become a professional, because the pros know how to deal with their losses. This is not a game where every single day you're walking in and you're walking back out with 10 racks. It's a give and take, it's a pull and push game, and you have to be able to understand and comprehend that sometimes the market just gets the best of you and we need to refine ourselves and push ourselves forward into the next day. And those waves of positive and negative days can really be when the emotion starts to roll onto you. You guys see how crazy I act sometimes, but the truth is the more that you stay emotional, the more you make yourself robotic, the better this is going to be for you. For example, when I'm trading higher time frame stuff and I'm only taking one trade that session, and I know that when I set my orders up, when I get in that trade, I can dance around, I can jump around, I can backflip off the couch. It's not going to influence the market at all. And I know after that trade, I'm done. That's when I think emotions can be okay when you are trading. But in a position like this where you're scalping, you're taking hundreds of setups every month, I think it's very hard. That was the biggest hitter for me, was being able to manage myself. And in reality, I couldn't, because I would act all crazy like I would with my higher time frame stuff every single trade. And you know how hard that can be to do. Today is when we fix it. I will defend, but also entertain the fact that funded accounts are truly the best asset for you right now. When you are dealing with funded account rules and systems put over your head where you're kind of being controlled, scalping is always going to be a positive asset for you. Because of the ability to work around these smaller trades, you're going to have a very consistent outcome. You're also going to be able to entertain those big trades. It's very easy to scalp when you're on funded because these trades are so small. It's very easy for you to be in a trade with all this drawdown and only be using this much and be very confident taking that trade. And funded accounts are just also a bonus. When you're new to something like this, you might be getting into scalping. You don't want to put your live money into the market. Trust me. Once you stop reacting and start executing, your P&L will stop looking like a roller coaster that I'd probably be scared to ride. But without this next bit of education, you'll probably still blow your funded account anyways. Look, you can have the best strategy and mindset in the entire world, but if you're executing at the wrong time, it doesn't even matter. Think about it this way. If you had a Lambo and you wanted to go 150 miles an hour, would you do it in bumper to bumper traffic? Probably not. It's very important to understand, just like in my other videos when I talk about bias or other models where I talk about you need to understand the current market trend so that you can influence your shorter time frame stuff. This influences it to an even higher level. While yes, you're going to be scalping and everything outside of right now doesn't really matter, it's important that you do come into the day with a plan, with a bias, and understand, hey, maybe today the market's looking pretty choppy, I can't find any setups, let me just step away and come back tomorrow. Or hey, Donald Trump and Elon are having a freak off over there, there's tariffs over there and FOMC's tomorrow, I probably should just take the day off. Recently, there's been a lot of chop inside of the markets because of a lot of stuff going on, and when you're scalping, that can be a big red flag because most of the time your trades are not going to be big enough to deal with that, increasing the times you get stopped out, increasing the times you get mad at me for getting you into this. So let me hop on the charts real quick and let me show you the times when you maybe should or maybe shouldn't take some trades. So right now, just turning on my screen, I mean, it looks like an amazing time to scalp. One thing you have to take away is you need to understand how NAS trades intraday. So throughout multiple sessions and multiple times a day, you're going to see big increases in price action. You're going to see chop, you're going to see ranges. So you need to understand and find the best times of day for you to scalp. If there's one thing you need to understand before you get deeper into this is you need to find out that volume is your best friend when it comes to scalping. I mean, looking at the charts right now, it's nighttime, but I can see the chart is moving really well. This is a time where I need to potentially just look at some setups because you want to avoid that chop. And sometimes if you can just look with your eyes and see, hey, right now we're seeing some really good price action, that's going to be the best time for you to trade. When you can visually see an opportunity, that is when you need to do so. Most of the time, these people will just chase and chase and chase regardless of what the chart's doing, try and catch that breakout. No, I see the breakout happening right now. I want to start to scalp. Just a rule of mouth I would say is you shouldn't scalp at night. Most of the time, sometimes like this right now, it's nighttime, it's actually moving really well. But for majority of this, you want to stay very close to market open just because that is where that volume really does start to kick in. You can see some really big moves and take advantage of a lot of good opportunities inside of the market. You want to be at the point where you can say you only trade good price action and you get to sit out when it's choppy. And instead of thanking me, you can thank yourself later. And real quick, if you're serious about becoming consistently profitable, just hit that top link in the description and apply to work with me one-on-one. I got students like Jonathan who's $400 away from getting another $4,000 payout on Top Step. But even with all the education I've gave you up to here, if you have a bad strategy, you're not going to get anywhere. After jumping through 1,000 different strategies, I can confidently tell you that the strategy I'm about to show you is by far the best. The best part about it is that it is so simple. This is something that I've used for a very long time and I've basically became religious about, is using the 2-minute with the 8 EMA to give myself opportunities to get in on retracements and get those big expansionary moves that you've been waiting for. And the best part is you don't have to learn 50 BS ICT concepts and study for months to get some outcome with this. And for people who like trading on funded accounts, this strategy works really well with tight rules. It gives you a lot of breathing room on your accounts. It teaches you discipline, and it is for traders who want real results. A pretty simple breakdown of this strategy is you are using the 2-minute time frame with the 8 EMA, and you are just looking for retracements off of trends. This strategy is great for identifying momentum inside of the markets. If you can find that trend, you can get those retracements, and you can hopefully continue along with that, play with the big fish, and make money while you're doing it. I mean, super simple. We see a setup right here. You are looking for continuations in the trend, retracements to this EMA, rejection right here, hop in at the close, target at the previous high. All I see right here is a great opportunity to risk money inside of the market, and that's really what it comes down to. We have a very small candle, but we do see a rejection off this EMA, and we are easily able to find the nearest high. We target this for a 3-point stop loss and a 10-point TP. Very simple. Just like scalping, and it hits TP within 10 minutes. A big thing with this is you do need to have predetermined targets set up. Again, we have our stop loss here because that is where the candle closed. We have our take profit at this high because it is the most recent high we made. I knew before this trade played out where I was getting stopped out, where I was hitting take profit. So in my mind, I knew how much I was risking. If I wasn't comfortable with it, I shouldn't be taking the trade. A big thing with this is you are looking for a consistent position size, and that's going to be, of course, up to you. I would suggest 5 micros on a new 50K funded account, but for the most part, as long as you're doing the same amount every single time, it's going to give you a really good mental kind of build up to be able to take more trades. Right here, we have another example of an opportunity for you to take a trade with this strategy. We see prices currently in a downtrend. We buy right back up off this EMA, sold back off, and then what do we see here? This is what we really want to touch in on. We see price, of course, open here, buy up above this EMA, come back down and close below. That's what we're looking for. We want to see price go above the EMA and get sold right back underneath and then close back underneath, get in right there. And then we would have our stop loss, of course, at the high we just created. And probably in this case, just run a 1-to-1. I mean, if you would have hit perfectly fine. There's going to be situations where you have obviously a nice stop loss set at this high, but then you don't really know where to set a TP at. When that is happening, just make sure to run a 1-to-1 off of it. That's always a pretty good just idea to do. Right here's another good example of a shot to take on these, and that is what scalping needs to come down to for you guys. It needs to just be educated shots. You need to find the trend and hope to get a good entry on it. That's kind of been the whole model with scalping and using EMAs for me for the longest time, is if you don't have these on this chart, some people like to get ordered for longs here, and of course this EMA is down here. We know that these EMAs act like magnets, and we don't want to get in trades up here because we know price can pull right back down to these, and you can still be in it and you can still make money. But when our entry is down here compared to up here, we can make a lot more. It's as simple as seeing a bullish trend, price falls to the EMA, we see rejection off of it, we see the close back above, we get in, we take a shot at it, and we see some decent results. And I really want you guys to understand, with a strategy like this, you're gonna have so many opportunities to take trades. So again, it's being able to identify good market trends and good current positioning with yourself to give yourself the best chances to see some success with this. Understanding when the market is ripping like this, this, having really good opportunities to see some profit. There are times when you're going to see profit like this just completely rip through your take profit and you're like, damn, I wish I could have made more money. In reality, there's going to be some times when if you do get up on the day, I'm not against just letting some of these trades run out, because most times when you are trading in good market conditions like you're supposed to be doing, I mean, anybody watching right now, you guys can see this looks like pretty good PA right now. Anytime like this and you're comfortable with taking that risk of, hey, I'm only up 10 points right now. I don't care. I'm already up on the day. I'm willing to risk that 10 points to potentially make, I mean, in this case, when price came out to this 30 points, I'm okay with doing that. I totally accept that. As long as you are already up on the day, you're having a good week, and you make sure to put your stop loss at break even, there's nothing wrong with just letting it go. If you do decide to let a trade like this run out, make sure to go on a higher time frame and find a high in this scenario where you could actually exit at, just to give yourself a TP, because if not, you're just going to let it run up and it's going to eventually come back down. All right, guys, we're going back in time per usual, just to show you guys I'm not messing around with this strategy. This is going to be an opportunity for you guys to get a clear view on a mystery trade. Okay, so let's go to not 1 in the morning. Okay, boom, 9 a.m. market opens up. Why did we just get an entry off rip? This is an entry, I'm not going to lie. We just got an entry right off our rip. We see buys are currently switching. The only problem with this right now is it's pretty early in the market open. It is 10:45, I guess, so it's not too bad. But we saw a pretty bearish trend coming into market open, but we're seeing buys come up. We're seeing buys pick up. We finally see a nice rejection off the CMA. We're going to run a 1-to-1 off of this. 14 points. Let's see, we run a 14-point TP here, right at this high basically, and let's see what happens. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys soon. I mean, just like that, I'm not trolling. Again, it's not the greatest trade ever, but you're scalping. This is something where you're going to see volume trades. We only hit 14 points there, but if you take 5 of these, you're doing all right. And the best part about this is maybe you only get 1, 2, 3 setups on the day. You're only risking 14 points per trade. A bad day for you could be 50 points, when in reality, for the most part, that's not a lot. One of the biggest problems with scalping, though, is you're going to be tempted by over trading pretty often. This is something where you're just taking more trades than usual. You're taking a very high volume of trades. The more times you end up trading, guys, the more times you're more likely to lose. So the earlier that you can get up on the day, I would highly suggest, depending on how you like to trade and your rules and your position size, stepping away as soon as possible. A very simple rule that you can put into place is 3 losses in a row and you are done for the day. So that could be concurrent or not. Once you lose 3 trades in a row, I can understand, hey, the market is not moving how I would like it to be. I'm obviously not getting good setups. Let me step away, come back later or tomorrow and just give myself a new shot at it. Another thing is just trading when the market's dead. Don't trade at night. You don't need to. You're going to get a lot of setups with this strategy. This isn't something where you need to look at the chart all day. You can be in and out in 35 minutes or an hour, but still, I mean, that's pretty quick, and I don't want you looking at the chart all day anyways. That's why we trade. We like to live our life. Also, we talked about finding good market conditions. It's going to be up to you to decide whether you are going to be taking trades or not in that session. Look at the chart. If you can look at the chart and see, hey, price action's moving good, take trades. If you can't, don't take a trade. I mean, I don't know how much more simple you'd like me to make it for you. This is another thing where you're going to be able to chase money fast. I do not suggest that when you are scalping. This is a brick by brick process. That is going to make your wins a lot smaller. Also makes your loss smaller. The volume is really going to be where the money's made. When you do get into a system where you are stopping after 3 losses, you can win 5 trades in a row and you can call it. It's all up to you. And just main thing here is be very, very, very precise with your entries and very consistent with the amount of money you're making and risking per trade. At the end of the day, you are scalping. It is a very, very, very small confidence setup per trade. So that amount of points it's going to move is going to be small. So you need to make sure you're trading small. And if you're ready to stop guessing and actually build consistency into your trading, click that top link in the description and apply to work with me 101. I want you to be like Jonathan. 4K payout sounds good, doesn't it? Thank you for watching. See you later. Subscribe.